Hey everyone, let's talk backlinks. Let's talk about how it's normally done out there and the way it's done through us and what we've learned from things that we didn't do as well and what we now know we should do and a couple of steps along the way because it's been really fascinating. Our growth and understanding of how to do this right and the ease with which we can get the results. So take a look because now that we got done building all the final tools and making the changes that we wanted to make, we're about to walk into tiered backlinking done completely right. And even one of the last tools for that, we just finished yesterday. In other words, we're micromanaging to make sure we never have too many links coming off of a single domain. When we need to actually consider something like citations or press release placements, and when not, and what to do to make sure to spread the link juice really efficiently through stacks of sites. So let me show you through a few models real quick and make some points about it. Okay, here is one site. Back around here, we started creating websites for him, and we went through the difference between GPT-3 and then 3.5 when we were writing his contents onto those sites. And then at that point, we interlinked those sites to point at his site. And a little juice through those sites, one to the next. And then we didn't think about it after that because the guy wasn't paying us to keep it up. And we just didn't pay any attention. So over the course of time, it started to float back down because there were no new backlinks happening. And yes, that is a product. If you don't do any new backlinks, because your competitors still are for the keywords you want, chances are they're fresher backlinks and or they're fresher content, usually a combination of both. You really need both. Are allowing their competitors to start to slowly get a step up. Now, what did that mean? Well, when we did the work in the first place, we got them from like 1,000 hits a month to close to 1,500, 1,450, something like that. And then over the course of several months, and this is a slow decline, so nobody was really paying attention, he fell back down to around 1,250 by the time he hit here. Now, it was right up in here that the question was, what can we do to recover this curve? And we went back and looked at the backlinks we created for him. And I just want to point this out. They are important. So when you check a backlink profile and you're looking and you're seeing the domain rating is really high, and that's nice. It means a lot of your keywords can get on the front page, but he has a niche product. Okay, it's a very niche thing. You have to either search for it, or when you go searching for some other keywords and he doesn't have pages about those other keywords, then Google tends to go, oh, the people that were looking for that aren't looking for you, and so you lose some keywords and stuff. Having said that, this is a really, really powerful domain rating. It allows him to compete really, really well. Now, what I wish is that when we created the backlinks for him, take a look, not ours. Probably it's only got a domain rating of 5. I'm not sure why it's here. These are like most recent and most important in a way, but usually most recent anyway. And so take a look, just different things popping up here and there. Don't let the domain rating fool you into thinking, well, the higher the domain rating, the better the backlink. Not directly speaking, no. This is far away from the front page. It's the front page. It's got something like a 60, okay? But this particular page right there is going to be so deep in the website. It's going to have an individual page rating, a UR rating of 0 probably, right? Like nobody does this search and visits that page, right? Okay, having said that, this is ours, okay? That's one where we backlink directly into a shop, okay? And then we have another one where we backlink into a shop on a different site. It's a different site. Different site, different site, different site, different site, different site, different site, and then not ours, but that is ours. So what's the point I want to make about that? We hadn't touched anything with his backlinking on those brand new domains, not expired domains, that had no backlinks leading to them. Some of them linked through each other on the way up to him, right? Which is what really drove his domain rating up so high because it used to be a lot lower. Having said that, all we did was this. Now that we have some tools built, we've been constantly building new tools and refining. One of them was being able to change the ratio of do follow to no follow links. So the reason they're showing up at the front, even though we made these like way back then. So we made those links back in here, okay? But then we came back to them here and made some adjustments. What did we adjust? We turned a bunch of these that were no follow into follow to see how it affect things. And I wouldn't normally like to get a lot of follow links out there. So we chopped down how many of these links we had per site. But that really fixed it, because you used to have way too many no follow links and way too many no follow websites all the way around. Like all the links coming off the website were no follow. Okay. And when we fixed that, that's what I'm saying. So within like 2 months, he climbed basically 300 more visitors per month. Okay. So it's like 10 more visitors per day across this keyword stack. And of course, it's driving his keywords up, all because all these things kind of grow at the same time. Higher you climb in domain authority, right? And with the freshness, then it pulls you into more keyword territory, and you start to show up in the top 100 for a lot more keywords, and therefore your sliver in the top 5, top 3, top 10 keeps growing. All right. With me so far? So we created an initial bump here, then we forgot about it, and he started to slip because he didn't do any backlinking of his own. He's doing his own videos and creating more content on the site maybe, but the backlinking hasn't been attended to, nothing new. So then we came back around here and we switched a bunch of those links from no follows to follows, effectively improving the algorithmic value of those links. And because he was too far off balance, too many no follows versus do follows. And so we just kind of righted the balance a whole lot more. And when we did, already we're seeing the climb. Okay. Really important to keep that stuff in mind. Okay, so that's that example, and you guys see it, right? Let me go to another example. Okay, this stuff will move quicker as I go through. I want to make a lot of points. This is a different case. The first case, I should keep track. First case is a combination of him getting backlinks out there in the world, and then some backlinks from us through websites we built that link to him. But the caveat is the websites we built that link to him when we did it was before we got into expired domains. So they're all new domains, so they're still in the sandbox. They're not going to have as much effect as, they weren't having as much effect as we would like on a standalone basis, although they did have an effect. It was certainly worth it because it got them from around 1,000 visitors a month to like 1,450. So, another 15 per day. Okay. But then when he started to slip, and we made some adjustments in there, he's climbed like another 300 visitors a day, so higher than he was before, meaning that those websites we did for him are worth more now because they're basically a year old, okay? Just over a year old, so they're worth more. And what will we do if we want to keep pushing that up? We would go out and get some regular citations or some more expired domains and point them at the bottom layer, thereby feeding up through the list. Okay, so keep that one in mind, okay? I'll give you another example. These guys, you would think, wow, they're doing great. And they got 730 clicks a month and they're up 160. That's great. Sort of. But here's the thing. This website here serves 60 metro areas, 60 cities. And because it does, the backlinking that they're getting, this is crazy. They're going out and trying to get these the links out there in different places where it can make sense. So look, a backlink in Euclid, Ohio for Euclid, the city there. And then another one for Brookhaven, wherever that is. And that's for Brookhaven, right? And then another one for Manasquan, New Jersey. That's for that. You know what's bad about this? Well, it's taken them 48 websites. Sorry, those pop-ups are really driving me nuts. 48 websites and very little do follow, really. 30%, 60%. I mean, that's kind of in balance. It's good. That's why they're rising at all. But they're only getting a 0.1 overall domain rating out of that thing. Are you kidding? Okay. Man, their URs are going to rank a little higher on the whole, the individual links, but not a lot. Now, here's the point I want to make. Since it's really 60 cities, take 730 and divide by 60, and that's how many extra clicks they get in each part of this business. 12. They spent How many months with this slow climb, really, if you divide it by 60, right? Because that's the reality check. They have guys answering the phones for 60 cities. It doesn't mean that they have 60 guys, but they have more than one guy, obviously. They have to. And so this is just slow and painful. This growth is horrible. You want to know how I know it's true? Because their domain rating is so low, look at this. I'm going to come down to their history. And over the last, even if I take it 2 years, right? I just want to make this point crystal clear, okay? This is how painful that is. You can tell by looking at this, the organic clicks, that yes, they're rising. Google's giving them more and more room because they've really been around a long time. That domain's several years old. It's way older than 2 years. But average position, right? On the front page or what? The average position of other keywords is like 43.32 back then 2 years ago. The average position. No one sees those keywords. Once in a while, somebody will type in something in such a slightly odd way that Google will go ahead and show their page for it. But otherwise, the keywords just aren't making it to the front page at all. They're not in the top 10. They're at 43. Okay, that's like page 5. All right. And how's it look over time? 43, 43, 46, 42, 43, 45, 46, 48, 47. They're lower now than they were 2 years ago, right? Ouch, right? So how come that's happening? Because the backlinks they get are like bad friends they hang out with. They're low repute backlinks or just no value backlinks. Nobody's coming to the page. No one's checking it out just because the directory's there. So what they need to do is change that. But it's interesting to make the point in this study for one reason. They have no websites from us. There is no link from us in their entire list here. Okay? If there was, it wouldn't be at a 0.1 for domain rating, which is exactly why they're ranking 45 all the time. All right? For everything on average, right? Wow. Okay. So all these are not ours. They're just local citations done wrong. Okay? If they were local citations done right, they get a better benefit out of it. But the reason they're getting a benefit at all is that Google is counting that they're doing a little more work over the course of time. Okay? So they're getting a bit of benefit, just not a lot. Okay. I'm beating these horses to death for a reason. I want to show our work and how it impacts things, their work and how it impacts things. Our work does drive domain rating. It really helped his number a lot, even with brand new domains. So as we make sure that we're getting the kind of links that have traffic to them already, some, even 3 people a month, just pages that have some traffic, and get his links to our websites on them. If we're doing that with a few of our websites, and then we're interlacing those websites to drive the juice up, and then he's at the top right here, okay, that is exactly cool because it can make more traffic on those websites we built for him. But if we had gotten expired domains, it'd be a different world, wouldn't it? Because all those expired domains that we would have bought already have backlinks. So the ones where it did not have its last backlink for a long time, like 2 years or a year, all we have to do is go out and ping it with a couple more backlinks, just something simple. In the regular internet that has some kind of traffic somewhere. Matter of fact, that's why people get into social media. And because if you're posting about, hey, check out my new thing, and some people actually click on that, you're getting traffic, right? I've had somebody ask, what about pay-per-click ads? And the answer is you can use them to study how people act on your pages and transpose that to the organics and say, well, if they're going for the heavy-hitting keywords in the ads because they want to buy right now, but then they're landing on the information pages of my organics, you know, how similar is that? Okay, you're doing a good study, but Google does not use your data from ads and transpose it to your organics directly because Google even thinks of those as 2 different markets, the ones for the ads, the ones for the organics. All right, I want to get off of that, but I want to make these points, right? They're important. So, like, what could I do if I wanted to really help them right now? You know what I would do? I would take anti-fog for machining.com, for example. And you know what I would do with it, since it's already got a DR of 10? I'd go out and I'd list this in a directory somewhere that has to do with anti-fog goggles, anything, anywhere. I'll go look up some competitors right here on this exact list and look at where they're getting some of their better backlinks. I can go to Ahrefs and study that. And just by looking for where they're getting some backlinks for free, I'm going to go post in those same places. Voila. That drives up the rating here, which therefore drives up the rating to here if this is backlinked on it, and here if this is backlinked on it, here if this is backlinked on it. And those guys plus the first one are going to drive up the domain rating of the top guy. Okay? So you can feed the miles and feed the miles and feed the miles and feed the top guy. I guess I'll put it that way. It's sort of weird. All right. So I showed you two cases. This is the long, slow one because even though the numbers look great, they're not. You got to divide by 60. And you realize they're taking way too much time to get way not far enough. Which we did because we had a lot to learn. And now that we know so much more, then things where we weren't ranking as high, we've got total control over now. Because we know what we need to do. The other things that we're ranking high anyway are just easier to find the niches or the information or wherever it is where we can rank, where we can pierce into it. But we've always had really chaotic results on the whole, and so we always spread the net wide. We grew up spreading the net wide, right? Mass optimized web pages. Well, now we make mass optimized web pages, and we've been doing 99.5% of everything we need to make any and everything rank really highly. But we had to finish the crosslinking tools and the caps on the number of max crosslinks per site, the ratios for follow to no follow, being able to use images, being able to use text, balancing between in-paragraph verbiage and direct linkage at the URL level. We've finally finished all that so that we can automate that across tons of websites at the press of a button, in the right way, the ways Google wants to see. And it's still not following a footprint. It's looking for the right matches to make the right fits, and it's cascading from a stack to a stack in whatever order makes the most sense. And then the caps come in and cut it off. So not only are the results different, they're not cookie cutter at all. They're literally based on reality. The reality of the page titles versus the in-paragraph links on different pages of different sites that match. And yet, a cutoff of similar anchor text links per page so that we don't just have 10 per page. It's ridiculous. It's too many. Cap it at 1 or 2 for that kind of link. And then cap the max number per website so that it's not spam. Okay? Getting all these things right means anything and everything that we were doing wrong or underdoing or overdoing, it doesn't matter which, we now have the tools to hit the buttons to control it, to fix it. And when Google sees that something underdone is fixed, it improves stuff. When it sees that something overdone is fixed, it improves stuff. It doesn't care about your past, it cares about your present. It doesn't care who you were, it cares about who you are. Okay? And we were never pushing spam or anything before, but we weren't following exact number limits that we can follow now. Like, what about 200 links from a single domain? What about 50 links from a single domain? There are different rules for how that works out and different guidelines, really, that Google gives you. You know, always watch what Google does, not what Google says, but we've been doing that clearly. So I want to continue. Okay, let's talk about this one. Now, this you might say, Dave, it's only 26 keywords. It's on a downslope. It's only got 11 clicks a month. Why are you showing it to me? Here's where I have to make a point. For SpyFu, this is this website that never existed that long ago. It's only, I don't know, 8 months old at the most. It's not even a year old. And we never were backlinking it much, although we did have some links come into this website from his old site as we were transferring it over. So it did get a little love from a decent website until we caught up with the latest stuff that we're doing, which is really cool for this site. Now, the final point I want to make. The numbers that this website is getting is not this at all. Because SpyFu has barely paid attention to it, all this stuff is lagging hard. These are not lagging, all these back here, because Google's really gotten used to these sites. It's seen them around for a really long time. So these numbers are a lot more accurate, okay? And again, it's estimates, right? It could be off by twice as many or twice as few. But, you know, it's gauging and guessing what those clicks are. And it's doing it robotically, and it's a smart guess. It's educated guessing. But with this, it's like, I've never seen this before. It's a very strange product, and it's just starting to climb. So it's way lagging on the data. And I'll prove that very shortly because I'm going to get into that example real fast. So let's take a look, though, because it is important. One reason I even use SpyFu, mostly we're looking at websites that are older than a year. But for new websites, we're just looking for the liftoff, right? We're always curious about when's the liftoff. This thing is doing the liftoff. It's on its way up. Looks slow here, but that's because this data is behind. Let's take a closer look at this new website. Okay, first of all, domain ratings up to 8. And a lot of that just started. It's got 62 linking websites. Oh, I hate these pop-ups. 62 linking websites, right? And we just started to adjust this stuff too. I'll show you. It's heavy on the no follow, but I'm going to make more adjustments to it real soon. Here's what I want to say. This is interesting. See this? This is an expired domain with a link to them. That's a no follow. It's a big banner in the middle of the page that shows them off, and you can click through and go to them. I put this question mark cure my dries thing here just to have a unique identifier on the link so that whenever we're seeing hits on that site, we can see how many came from the backlinks, right? And also, when we see the list of the backlinks in Ahrefs, we know which ones came from us, right? There's no question that we can isolate the percentage of our backlinks versus any other backlinks this guy ever got to his site. And you know what? Every one of these 62 websites are ours. Many of them, well, some were his. He already had like, I don't know, 15 to 20, something like that were just his in the first place, that were just sitting there like this iTier100China.com because he's opening in China as well. And that was his. So that was just something he bought. It's not an expired domain, right? But he didn't have a lot of them, just like 10 or 15. Okay, like iTierUS.com. I mean his, and not an expired domain. No expired domains say iTier because that was his his thing. However, we use all these together and we're knitting through them on the way to him. And I want to show you what that's led to and how powerful it really is, because otherwise you wouldn't know. All right, so take a look. Here's that list, right? If I said, show me all of these backlinks, these 62, whap. 62 domains, all right? Sets of backlinks, all right? Some have more, some have fewer links to the target. Some of these have more than I would like. We could have up to 200 per website if you have a minimum number of pages. But some of these I'm going to chop down because it's going to give even better results, right? And so here's the point I want to make, though. Every one of these is a combination of the websites that the guy owns himself that never had traffic to them at all, no backlinks to them, and the websites that we went out and got and stuck into the mix, right? So all of his is the opposite of this case. All of their backlinks are backlinks they got from the regular internet, where it's the typical kind of backlink that's not that powerful, and it's taken them forever to get any kind of real rise out of it and divide by 60, right? That's horrible. But our guy, okay, by the time he got up here, and I want to show you how crazy this is. By the way, how do these things look? Like when you open these, I'm just showing you real quick, right? We got our table of contents in here. We've got our related pages, our other pages. We got so many cross links in here that we can show up for thousands of keywords as these rise. These web pages can, these websites can. Okay, we need to get backlinks through to them more. They'll rise next. We just started the process here recently. This is a direct link to him, right? It's got that piece I was talking about. If I click it, see that? It's got this whole thing about cure my dry eyes, right? So it's easy for us to track it. But it's a no follow, inspect, right? It's going to be a no follow because it's like such a big clickable thing smack in the middle of the page, that if we did it with every page of every website, it would look like spam. But if you no follow it, you're fine. But we adjusted our tools so we can change how many can get to be follow and yet keep it capped so it doesn't exceed what Google expects for the size of the site. Okay? And we can do that with all these websites that we have out there. You know, we can control all of it at all points in. How cool is that? Now, let me come back to this. I want to make this point. When we go looking at what we've done with the latest round for him, because we ripped out all the GPT-3 pages, put up GPT 3.5, ripped them down, put up GPT-4. Expensive. Content is so expensive now. We used to hit buttons for spin tax. Now it's expensive. But take a look. The oldest of these backlinks, because we ripped out all the old stuff. We got rid of all the GPT 3.0 and 3.5 stuff and wrote 4.0 because we just know that that's the only way you're going to be competitive moving forward, right? GPT-4 is written better than 3.5 by a long shot. Okay, so, you know, when you want to have the best pages, the best articles, you've got to be writing that way. First seen, 23rd of February, 2024. Keep that in mind. That was what? A month and a half ago. Okay? Month and a half ago. All right, keep that in mind. All of the power that we added to that website that matters today started a month and a half ago. Before that was 3.5, 3.0. So yeah, it had value at the time, but if we didn't make the upgrade, then the value would diminish, right? Okay, here we go. When we look at the site today, okay, they have about 785 hits per month. Now, some of these are bots, okay, and so Ahrefs does a pretty good correction for that. Still, 785, okay, and here's the weird part. See, this used to be their old site, right? So once we got this going, some of the pages do still go back to their old site, and I advised him to keep it so he could take up more real estate on the front page of Google for keywords as he goes, right? And because this got so high, it drove this one up. See, many of the people coming here and starting their journey are continuing to his main website, which is exactly what we want. We want 100 sites like this that get traffic, that feed it to the source, right? The general. All right. That's where we're headed with all this. Okay. Let me continue. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Look at this. This is 2.8. Okay. Probably without the new website, it would be something like, I don't know, 2.5. Okay. How's that? 2.5. All right. Now, this is 785. What is the difference between 2,500 and, I don't know, 785, right? How many more times powerful? Divided by 785. Okay. It's only 3 times more powerful, 3.2 times, right? You know what's funny? It is only getting 3.2 times as much traffic, even though the domain rating is so high at a 27, versus this with a domain rating of 8. And this has only been in action, you know, getting this climb that's growing like this in the past month and a half. The work's been done to get it. Before a month and a half, this number was like 300. Okay, 350 maybe. All right. The other weird thing, this website itself has like 12 pages on it. This website has a lot more. Okay. Or at least some more. Whatever. I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to keep moving through this, right? All right. Let's look at this curve, man. Okay. iTier100.com. We're looking at the curve. Okay. Look at that. Nothing back in like June 11th, right? They couldn't find it. But now, whap, a little bit of stuff happening here, okay? And that, like I said, was like a GPT 3.0 curve here, probably, just step up. And then here, this is like our GPT 3.5 rewrites. And then like GPT 4 rewrites. And then latest was probably in here sometime we made the corrections. Some of the corrections for his follow and no follow. And wow, just like that, right? the latest benefits that he got kicked in like here. Do you remember what it said? The backlinks, the oldest backlinks that I even saw were from? Like 20, what was it, like 25, 23 of February? So all of this backlinking that got picked up by Google, where Google just would discover more and more of those backlinks by the day. WAP. Look at that. WAP. It went from organic traffic of 370, 370 to 593, 370 to 600 overnight. Overnight. Biggest step it ever took ever, right? And yet, every single backlink it has came from us. How do we know? Take a look. These are all those backlinks that count. And these are the only 2 IP addresses that they're coming from. 61 of them are on one of the IP addresses. One of them's on the other. And actually, there's 2 here. And there's like another 20 here. And that means that Google's not even finished figuring out what's going on now that we rewrote all the GPT-4 and then we got the pages up and now we're launching this stuff out. Google's going to discover more soon. And it's within range for the backlinks. I can bring it down, which will probably improve it still, but it's not really bringing it down. It's convert some of the no follows. Actually, it's bringing it up. Convert some of the no follows into follows. All right. What can we also do? Heck, one thing we could do to improve upon this is actually get a bunch of these domains moved to a third server, third IP. The more IPs, the better, especially if the pages are good in quality by themselves. We can do that. That's not weird. It's not wrong. It doesn't look over the top. It doesn't look like we're in a race to take over everything. And Google loves that. Google rewards that subtle, smart growth that we can do so automatically. And this is all us, not one link from the internet outside of our own actions. Ain't that weird? Why? Because those were expired domains that already had backlinks, okay? That were already out of the sandbox. So the stuff's moving faster. Now what? What do I want to say now? Okay. If you look, these things go in parallel, right? That's the organic traffic growing. Organic pages went up and down as we'd add pages, and then we'd rip them down and put up new pages, rip them down, put up new pages, rip them down, put up new. And Google's, even as far as Google's concerned, we're still going through that. Like I said, we had some updates we had to make for sure just recently. So Google's going to see it go down and then go up again. And so just security and server updates. Anyway, organic keywords totally on the rise. Ain't that neat? So we've got keywords going up, and here's the other thing. How many pages have they got? 8, 9, 10, right up in there? 9 or 10 pages. For how much traffic? Dang, 600, right? These guys have like 2,000 pages. They created 2,000 pages to cover 6 cities. 60 cities. 200 pages for 6 cities, okay? So, and then even with all of that, they're at 730 monthly clicks. Our 9-page website with not one backlink from the internet like these guys have tons of, or 48 linking websites only getting them this far up with their average rating or average position like on page 5. The guys that we did have a 9-page website and they're getting pretty close to this much traffic already, right? If you think about it, 600 versus the 730, and it's only one central location, not 60. Okay. Look at this one. Okay, I showed you when we went down here. I'll refresh you on it because I think it's so important, right? Look at that. Average position, 43, page 5, right? And their average position now is even lower. What about our guy? This one here, who's on a rise. That even Spifoo's way behind on. I just want to make it clear. Newly ranked keywords, they only have like a year. They haven't even been around long enough. But let's look at their average position, okay? Was at 42, so page 5 as well, right? Now, the rank on average is 8.67. Bottom of the front page. And the higher they climb, the higher that volume curve goes, because that's where people see the most, is the top half of the front page, right? How's that for awesome? Now, what if we put a lot more pages on the guy's website too? Then he can show up for a ton more keywords. Right now, he's not doing any of the stuff on his site that we normally do. No sidebar with related links. Just a point-blank message that almost looks like a landing page. Okay? There's some stuff up here. Cool, nice, great. Not much. Like I said, very few pages on the site. The guy's doing okay. He's also got a big business. He has to fly out. He's opening areas and stuff. He comes back and we talk a little and I show him different things. And but, you know, that's just the way it is. He's been getting this thing off the ground for a while now. It's a really cool gadget. Get it if you have Drive. He handed me one. I tried it. I couldn't believe it. That'll open up your ear tear ducts better than you can imagine. And you don't need eye drops, which are fake, right? They don't actually unglue the gunk in your tear ducts. But if you use this tool, that comes unglued. Your eyes are going to behave a lot better automatically. All right. So yeah, he's got the real estate here. He's got, this even says 785 for search traffic compared to these guys with 730. If I were to take those numbers as apples to apples, I'd say I cannot believe it. We are doing so much better. We don't have a single link from the outside internet. You know what came up though? I mean, I love this. I love seeing this. Let me show you another. What have we got? Oh yeah, the Xfog one. This is interesting just to look at some of the details on it. Let me try to isolate this here. Okay. Organic pages. What would you say? If anything, it's lower now than it was then. Okay. So some of his pages fell out of the top 100. Okay, for keywords. But he's got, and why? Because a lot of the keywords that the system thinks he's supposed to be showing up for actually doesn't have to do with his product per se. So, you know, there are things like spray. Okay, never mind. Like kids' eye protection down there. I mean, that's not really the thing. It works, but it's not really the thing. Okay, but look, even though his pages is slightly dropping, it's a correction. It's a correction of Google saying, okay, I don't see where you fit for these keywords, but you fit better on the keywords you're already on. Let me rise you up on those. So take a look. Traffic. Traffic is going up and snapped at the end. Look at that. It went from just like a day or two ago. What is this? Oh, I see. 10th of April to the 11th of April, and it stopped counting at that point so far. But take a look at that. That traffic is going up, even though the pages is going down slightly. Okay, but the traffic is certainly going up, right? While the pages aren't, right? What about keywords? Let's take the traffic curve off so you can see it. Keywords. Keywords are going down like the pages are going down. Why? Because the keywords that don't work for him are being removed. He's dropping off because he doesn't relate. The keywords that do work for him, he's getting higher traffic on. See? Keywords down, traffic up. Okay? Slight correction in here near the end with the keywords, right? And a definite improvement here for his organics. And this is just going to keep improving. Guys, we figured out everything we're doing right and everything we're doing wrong and how to fill in the gaps. Let me go through a couple more pages, then. I'm going to make a summary point that's going to make this so clear, I think, because this is the way I see it now, and it's fitting my models in a way I wanted to see. All right, there's that. Now, I want to make one more point real quick. When we're making all these sites, I'll just come back to this real fast to make it easier to see. When we're making all these sites, okay, one more thing I do want to show you, or no? All right, never mind. I could show you too many pages all day long. Okay. Yeah, never mind. I could just show you too many pages all day long. When we look at all these sites, is it possible to have big leaps? If, say you've been doing 99.5% of everything right, then you finally figure out that last 0.5%. have you ever seen a site take a real sudden leap? Yeah. Like I was just showing you, where is it? This one taking the sudden leap up. Okay. Again, let me do this. Traffic, right? Sudden leap. Okay, sudden overnight leap. Now, it's not huge, but it's because we're just getting started. This stuff will kick in. And I'm going to show you proof of that in a minute. And then even here, look at this nice curve and how it goes whap up here, right? So when you start getting stuff right, you see something you normally don't see too often. Like the last time we saw a whap was here. It's probably when we first created like 3.0 content or 3.5. But there are not many of those things, huh? There really aren't many of them. So it's few and far between. But if you get something right, you can take a whap. All right. Final point I want to make. Look at this. Here's a case where the website was just getting itself up and going, up and going, up and going. Didn't have many pages or 3 organic pages. Or what? I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 organic pages, 45 referring domains total, probably all low quality and everything else. And somewhere in here, it started doing everything a little better. So organic pages started to shoot up, and the referring domains, that's one thing. It can lag like an Ahrefs because it takes Ahrefs longer to see those stats than it does to see the on-page stats. Pretty much everyone out there, SpyFu included, that's looking at data, when it says, I see all these referring domains on June 16th and I see organic pages shot up on June 17th. It does not necessarily mean that you saw all the referring domains that made that jump happen the next day. Because first, when you see the jump happen, now these tools go, oh crap, there was a jump. This website just got better. Let me dig a little deeper and find out why. And over the next couple of days, it gets a chance, or a few days, even a week, it gets a chance to figure out what's going on and start to log those too, right? It has to comb the internet to find the backlinks, which is different than just looking at your site to see the stats. All right, so check this out though. So if I follow the blue curve, let me take some of this off, okay? If I follow the blue curve, it starts to go up. That's the referring domains. It's starting to walk up. In the middle of it, look at that, organic pages. See the yellow curve? Organic pages just started to take off too, to a high of about 160 pages. And here's the thing I wanted to really show, okay? And domain rating, even domain ratings started to climb, which had a lot to do with helping them out on other keywords. And they did do that kind of thing that we have in the sidebars, that we have with table of contents, link pages, everything else. They did that stuff too. But let's take a look at this. Okay, that's even, I don't know. Take a look at this. Okay. So like I said, whether it's lagging or not, this thing's on enough of a rise that they made their bunch of pages. See, you got a bunch of pages picking up quickly, right? Cutting right through there. But look at this. See that leap? Okay. Let me try to, I don't know if I can hone in on it better. Nope. I got to see it this way. But look at this. From what is the date? Okay. 28th of March, organic traffic of 1,800. 30th of March, organic traffic of 2657. Then 3145 on the 31st. And then what? 4302. The next day. See how this is monthly traffic, but the last 30 days rolling average. It went from 4302 to 52,695 in a day. Kept climbing way up. And then you'll say, how come when it climbed it dropped? Google dance. This starts to happen, and then Google starts to figure out how people are reacting, and then resetting where their positions are based on the way Google sees the behavior of people landing on the pages, how many bounced, etc. Okay? But even at the bottom of their drop, they're still at 17,000 a month. Not where they were before at, 17. Or in this case, 1,000. No, there's 17,000 here. And now their backlinks are going up. Their organic pages are going up. Okay. Organic pages of backlinks, the yellow and the blue. And that is getting their traffic to grow as they add new pages, new backlinks, and Google sees where they belong. Now that Google's paying more attention to them. They got as high as 100,000 visitors a month. Okay. Nationwide appeal, low keyword difficulty. And what happened here? You might think, why would anyone let this happen? Usually when the site gets sold off. Right? Or unless the product became obsolete. Maybe they were selling something that no longer is allowed or got a bad rap in the news like iDrops did. There are different things that can cause that to happen. But usually if they sold it off, the people they sold it to may not have been so web savvy and they just kind of like rode off of it, getting whatever benefits they could until the thing was all said and done. Now what somebody should do is go in here and throw in some more backlinks. You can even see look at the blue curve. See how it rises and then it starts to flatten out? As it's flattening, the organic pages is dropping, right? And the traffic is certainly dropping, right? You can even see it reached a point of certain flatness, basically, where the curve for the traffic just started to drop. And that's pretty much when the organic pages is flattening out as well. These curves may not be perfectly aligned simply because the data is coming in from different places and the site is trying to accumulate it all across the net for everything at once. But it can be done. Look at the beauty of this. Isn't this something else? You know, the curves that go up. And that, by the way, is the general... Oh, that's what I wanted to show you before I forget. Let me see if I can get back to it. Yeah, check this out. I'll open it in a new tab. Okay. Everything climbing like this, as we know, right? Look at their organic keywords leaping up. 1 to 3 are the keywords of the top 3. Okay. That's increasing. They're at 8 now, even though, I mean, they only have 12 pages on their site. And those 12 pages on their site don't have all the above the fold stuff that we put on our websites that would allow many more keywords per page, okay? And then 4 to 10 increased, 11 to 12. Anyway, you can tell by the chart that it's on the rise, okay? The speed at which this website is rising based on the backlinks that we have that have no backlinks that we've put in, they're just expired domains. I think the expired domains are so worth it. If you go out and try to list yourself in directories the way these guys do, usually a single linking website will cost you like $5. Okay, so 48 times 5 is like $240, right? $240 got them what? A domain rating of 0.1. That's horrible. $240. So if we bought, and again, let's count the 62 that Ahrefs knows about. For here, 62 got a domain rating of 8, okay? And we spent how much on that? You know, 62 times what, like $12 or something. I think we're on the domain bar, like $740. So 3 times the money got, instead of a 0.1 domain rating, it got an 8. Wow, right? Wow. And so we can still use the benefit of getting some extra backlinks just to the degree that Google's looking for that and point them at some of those websites of ours. But because we point some backlinks from the internet that has some level of traffic and stuff that's known to Google to some of those websites, what happens? They get more juice. Because they get more traffic, more juice, these guys, more juice, they rise higher in rank and therefore get more traffic, which means by getting more traffic, their backlinks to the next websites rise in value, and therefore they rise in the keyword levels, and therefore they get more traffic. And we can take some of these links pointing at the bottom and point them in at the sides. There's no reason we only have to go bottom up. But what I'm saying is we can look for any weak link. If we built our pyramid, and it's not cookie cutter at all. But if we did, I don't know, it's a strange spiral shape with strange webbing all throughout it. If we did, it's more convoluted than a pyramid. What would a pyramid owner want to do? Put fresh bricks anywhere in the structure where the bricks are cracking or getting old or falling apart or missing, right? So that's just it. So mostly it's the foundation. You're trying to keep the pyramid from collapsing, but still anywhere along that pyramid where you see some cracks, you could go shore them up to just really stabilize the top and the structure in the middle, right? So we understand now how to do our work properly 100 times better than we understood how to do it even just a couple of months ago, even a month ago. Oh, man. But I've got the proof in the numbers and everything. That's what I've been showing you, is that this stuff is the kind of thing you can see, okay? You can see what causes what when I'm showing you through this stuff, right? 2 IP addresses, and this guy's getting more traffic than the other guys with their 400 or whatever it was, backlinks, 48. That only got them a domain rating of 0.1. That's getting them way too few visitors per location they're aiming for. That's insanity. Insanity. So we know what we're doing now. At a level but the reason that we know what we're doing now was we were able to finish building all these tools into our remote control system that allow us to auto adjust all the values across all the websites in the right kind of way. So everything we were doing wrong, we could fix. And in a few more days, everything we ever did wrong will be fixed. And then anything where we need to show up and get the bricks into place, we're going to. So we're going to get the cross-linking, extra linking. We built tools where we can download all the pages from all the websites and see exactly how many internal links are on the page going to other pages of the same site, interlinks, and how many cross-links that leave and go to other sites. We can see the counts. And any websites that have more than 50, say, per website, we hit a button that says limit to 50 or 40 or 30. Why will we limit more? Because we're going to create some more cross-links or backlinks. Notice how one thing Google wants to see is some of your backlinks disappear and other ones get added in. That's how Google says, oh, you're still on a roll. Well, we can do that across our entire stack of sites automatically. How's that for insanity? I mean, the amount of man hours it would take to service 500 websites times 50 pages each, let alone 100, 25,000 pages, and properly interlink and crosslink all through that structure with the right balance between follow and no follow and no cookie cutter footprints. I can't even imagine how much time it would actually take, okay? But I know what it takes us. I can set it, walk out and go to sleep and just let my computer run it all night long. The benefits are insane. All right, so what's our philosophy going to be as we go forward? The same thing we started with. We are going to sell leads to industries. We're going to flip websites. All those things are open, okay? And you guys can, don't tell me what your specification is right now. I'm just building everything up, and I'll start posting what's going up for you guys. And we're going to start assigning, obviously. Everybody who hasn't gotten taken care of, man, is going to be assigned sites and taken care of. Okay, we're going to absolutely make sure to get this website flipping club going at the right level. I'll tell you what, we know what we need to know now to drive everything up, and we're doing everything on site right, even schema for the first time. And schema is a really big deal that was hard for us to do. Now we got it. Okay, everything, all those related links, all those interlinks, all those cross links, all the right links to the pages, and yet some pages are more and less. Nothing cookie cutter. They all have different numbers of subheaders and sub-subheaders and sections and paragraphs. Totally different. And the styles are different and everything. Google loves the sites. So as we do our cross-linking based on the expired domains and based on filling in cracks, and if we need to go out and get some guys a service doing some standard backlinks just to fill in some of those cracks to the new domains that are less than a year old, we'll do it. And this whole thing is awesome. So what I want to say is we're going to come back to that now. The thing to keep in mind, whoever bought first is going to get the biggest benefits, followed by the guys who bought next, followed by the guys who bought next. Because every time the next guy buys, we create everything you need and we start building on it. And as we do it, you're going to be linking out to some of these guys. Now you might think, linking out, that costs me. And the answer is no, it doesn't. Google will say it costs you juice, but you win a different benefit from Google because it expects everyone to link out. Okay, if you don't leak out, you are not sharing the wealth like you should. And that's how Google sees it. You're supposed to be part of the information superhighway. Stuff comes in, stuff goes out. And link juice is part of that equation. You know what Google also says no follow really means? It's a recommendation to Google. It's saying, I think that because I put a banner that clicks through to the website on every single page of all these websites, probably it should be no follow. And Google says, why, yes, I agree. You kind of have way too many. You would be costing the website if you didn't. But Google has the determination to ignore the fact that you no-followed it and say, I see value in these banners that go to that website from yours. So what do we do just to make it easier on Google? Because it might say, I see value, but which pages should it come from? Who knows? We can follow and no follow in such a way that we can set the ratios right. And then Google, therefore, can go, oh, I see where you're at. I'm going to go ahead and roll with those pages. We just make it less of a confounding mix, right? And crystal clear instead. So those who got in get the best benefit. Those who get in next get the next best benefit, and so on and so on. This is going to go on for as long as Google does this, right? As long as backlinks are still useful, which is going to be at least 10 more years, 5 more years. I don't know. But that if you think Google's going to still have websites up for people to click on in 5 years, yeah. And the benefits that we're getting out of starting to do this stuff is kicking in like a month and a half, right? That's what I was showing you. And if we do a bigger job, if we do a bunch of websites, some will take like 2 or 3 months to kick in. Others will kick in like the first month. There will be a spread there. But you'll see a lot of this flap its way up the ladder. So I want to make this point. Just for those who haven't gotten into this game, but you're thinking, maybe now I should. I want to say this, just so you know. If you go to website-installer.com, okay, you can click on professional services. Okay. Now, these things are live. We haven't done so much with these small ones. No one orders the small stuff, and I get it. They're like, why do that if, we can just go ahead and jump the gun? I mean, those prices are so low. So guys are coming up here. Most guys start at least at this level. They're like, I want in here. Or if you've got your own thing that you want to keep building up, this is the same as this. But this is about flipping. This is about building up your business, at a better level than ever. And that is where we can use expired domains to pump in your way to get that juice to you, and also create all these good articles to you, and also create links to your inner pages. All the stuff Google wants to see. It wants to see backlinks to your home pages, backlinks to your inner pages. We can do that with this package right here in a wonderful way. Okay. Then there's, I want multiple front page listings on Google. And that's what I'm showing you here. There's a listing for this company right here, but another one right here, another one right here. Say you want as much of the front page as you could possibly get. Another one right here, another one right here, another one right here. And say you just wanted to get as much of this as you could so that most of the choices on the front page are you. All roads lead to Rome. They all lead to you. They're their own websites, but when people land on them, they tell them what they need to know and recommend you or point you out or have the clickable link to you or have the form on that site that is your main form. So you can, whether you bring people all the way to your site or not, you can spread your net down the front page of as many keywords as possible. And that's what this is right here. It's why it's called a dominance package. You're dominating the front page for all the keywords you can get. We'll get you 10 where we can get you 10. Where we can't get you 10, we'll get you 9. Where we can't get you 9, we'll get you 8. It's going to be a big saturation spread. Okay? Big deal. It's very valuable. Now, finally, this is for all you guys who say, Dave, I want to do what you got. I want to use the tools you have, follow your instruction, and do this myself for all the projects I have, plus as many other projects as I want to do for other clients. Okay? That's this guy right here. And there's some people on this now. They're pretty blown away with what they can do. And they make the decision every month if they want to keep going. And you know what? They keep going. And you know why? It's amazing to watch this stuff grow, especially when you have tools like this. There's nothing on the internet that allows you to remote control generating all the websites, And that's what it is. You can create the websites, get them up where you want, and you can adjust them and do everything you want with those websites with these remote control tools. Okay? And I'm going to extend this one more time because I haven't talked about hardly anything all through the Christmas period and all through the growth that we've been doing. So I'm going to come back to this. For those of you who've been in Moji since we did Moji, 14 years, look up all your receipts. Show them to me, send them to me. You know, whatever you can find, right? Say, Dave, these are my receipts. I subtracted from that, which means also that we figure this out if you need that based on the subtraction. Example. But it goes down to 5K. We can't go lower than that because this has costs, real costs. Here's what I want to say. This is 25K a year. Say you find you spend 15K in the past 14 years. 15 years has been like $1,000 a year for 15 years on our stuff. Okay, a lot of people have. Because we just keep building and people are like, I want that, I want that, I want that. And do whatever they're going to do with it. Having said that, then you would knock 15K off. It'd be 10K or $1,000 a month. Okay, 1/10 of this value per month. So you get 2 months free if you could pay the annual, but it's 1/10. Now that only applies to the first year. After that, we'll see what's going on. Who could see into the future that far? Even we can't see into the future that far. But for those of you who say, I want to take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or a year to build the biggest empire for myself I can with all the websites. If you're tech savvy enough, if you understand enough about SEO and websites and you just want to get in and roll with it, then now's the time. And what's cool about it is we're still adding features to this thing daily. It's absolutely amazing what exists in there now. And there's a cool playlist. So as soon as you can get going on it, you can start watching the playlist. And you just immediately are able to start doing more and more and more as you watch the playlist. And learning how to manage and remote control thousands of pages spread across hundreds of websites. You know, you can do that, right? The cost of every site you create once you have that package is the cost of the domain plus a cPanel, which like $15 a year. And that's it. And running, updating, improving even 100 websites is the equivalent. If you're saying I want to do that much right, how much does that cost? Like the ongoing maintenance on 100 websites. Say you created 100. You don't have to. You can create 3. You can create 300. But the question is, what would the ongoing maintenance be? And the ongoing maintenance would be the equivalent, we did the math, of less than getting like a 5-hour energy drink per day, okay, is the equivalent of managing 100 websites so well that Google straight wants to keep it ranking, to keep improving upon it. You know, still you versus your competitors, but you're able to stay in the game for as little as that. Now, having said that, you know, where the most competition is and stuff, it might be 2 of those 5-hour energy drinks per day. Whatever. I'm just telling you that because it gives you a sense of what it really takes to play in this arena. You know, in the beginning, you create the content, and that's a basic cost through the OpenAI API, which you get total access to. So you go get yourself a $20 a month OpenAI account, and then you create your API keys, plug them in, and then content's really cheap, and you can roll with it. And the only other thing I want to point out real quick is newest editions. One is live, the other has yet to be built. This one, chatforme.ai. I got to get this image better. It's so blurry. Is an AI live chat agent that can be stuck on one or multiple of your websites once you build it. So it can handle 100 conversations at the same time. These are annuals for going huge with a lot of bots and a lot of information and a lot of words per year that you'd be paying for. To have 5 bots manning, you could man 100 sites or 500 sites with 5 bots. And you could so fully train it over how the business works that it knows its job. And it can always report on what it couldn't answer, so you can finish the conversation, go back and train it a little better, and now it knows. And anyway, you can pay monthly, or annually. And for the monthly, even the starter, I mean, when you think about it, here's what it is. One chatbot at 22 and a half a month with that many credits included, you know what it means? It means the chatbot is working for you for 25 cents per shift, 8-hour shift, or 75 cents per day, okay? And it's got 500 words that it can say. Since the average live chat agent conversation is 250 words, 200 words, then you get like for every 1,000 credits, that's like 4 conversations to 5 conversations. This is 22,000 credits, so 88 to 105 conversations. Then you can just get more credits on the inside of the system. They're cheap. It's like $1 for 10,000 at that point. Okay, so this can be nice and cheap, and they all come with a 7-day free trial. Start anywhere you want. Yeah, you got to add your credit card. If for some reason you don't like it, just turn off the trial before it comes up. You won't be charged. Having said that, it is so stupid simple to set it up. I mean, from the time you register and get going to the time you have your code and you paste it in your website or websites is literally, it can be as little as 10 minutes, for you to give it some basic training. And if you give it more training, because you just have to put in your website and hit go, put in some URLs, and it learns instantly from all your pages. In seconds, it learns everything it needs to know to do the job. Okay, what's the next tool that's going to come after this one? No release date on that because we haven't gotten to it yet. Is a blog for me tool. So once you have that going, and that is coolest for those of you who do have this package here. It means that you can decide how often blogs should be written on each of your websites, just like list of websites, number of blogs per week. And when you run it, it'll take a look at what's been written already, take a look at what you've got on your website, and decide what else to write. And it'll do it on your schedule, and it'll do it with imagery. It'll add the imagery, it'll add the blog. It can even identify an author. So if you set up some AI authors, then you can use your authors that you give personalities to and stuff so that you have referring authors attached to your blogs, different authors. Okay, so that's a new thing that'll come out later. But I'm just letting you know that this is some of the stuff that, I mean, we're playing with a lot of power here. Web pages you can give goals to. We'll finalize that inside the remote control system soon so that you can give goals to your web pages so they can auto sort to increase the amount of time people spend on the page and or other things they click on your site. Okay, so it's all coming together, man, and this is huge. All right, so the power that we can offer anybody is insane. The legal guy can have the live chat agent. The dentist can have the live chat agent. The real estate guy can have the live chat agent. A locksmith, a plumber, a roofer, because it can be trained on your site to ask for the make, model of your car, the year of your car, the problem you have, where are you located. We'll get somebody out to you pronto. Or, yes, we do this in our dentistry. This is what we specialize in. The good doctor will take care of you and your, yes, we do kids and braces are great and da-da-da-da-da. So how about you come in or give us your name and email? And the bots actually pay attention and parse the information and put it into the flow chart for you or recommend where somebody can go to schedule a meeting with you or whatever it is, like your Calendly link, right? Your calendar link. All right. Ton going on. Just letting you know, it's been a long, long ride. But we built a crazy monster, and we've just been getting through the last of the I's and T's that we've ever found. And we know exactly what to do, and everything that we were missing that was causing arbitrariness in the results is no longer missing. We know what we have to do to fix anything. And we built all those controls so we can check our web pages. I can download any number of pages times websites and look through the columns for all the yeses and nos, number of words, number of subheadings, number of interlinks, number of crosslinks. If something was no indexed, if there's a good ratio of follow to no follow, everything that if schema was added, if we have tracking code in the pages, the right kinds of tracking codes. We have different boxes for those. So we can always know if the welcome pop-up is there, if the CTA bar is there. We don't have to try to click on independent pages anymore to get a clue whether things look good. We actually can just download the spreadsheet and check things off, right? Across thousands of pages at once. So yeah, it's insane. I am sure that we have a better system than we've ever heard of that anyone having. And yeah, we're down to our final steps as we're stepping into our cross-linking. And so like within a few days, everything will be cross-linked through the tiers beautifully. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, by the end of the weekend for sure. Everything will be at a maximum level I cannot even believe. So as Google starts seeing what's happening, it's going to go ballistic. And the only other thing that'll take longer than that is getting proper citations out there for wherever we want to do that. So the degree to which we do that, that'll get filtered in because we don't want that to move too fast, like 4 a week. But that'll move the needle hard. That's what you even saw when I was talking about this really big site. Because even on this really big site, the referring domains, right, which is like the idea of those citations, were just creeping. Everything else was really good on their site. But all they did was started to prove that they're back in the game. Like just a few of these, right, was enough to propel this curve up to where it could naturally go. All right. That's a long run, guys. I've been talking forever. But I just want to make sure you guys kind of really knew all the stuff that's going on, why things take so long, how close we are to things popping, why things are going to pop soon. And so you can make a decision to get in sooner so the guy right after you who gets in already is going to be feeding your project. The guys who get in fastest from the time they see this get the benefit of the guys who wait an hour or a day before they jump in. You get it? It really is going to be like that for the next several years because we're always going to want to get the most benefit, the most bang for our buck from the backlinking, interlinking, cross-linking, expired domains, new links, threading that we do. And that's going to be by feeding the sites and feed the sites and feed the sites, and then seeing where anything feels off balance still, maybe more competitive keywords or industry, and so then feeding into that to bring it up. And we're just going to keep doing that mainly for the bottom, fill in the sides, from the bottom, fill in the sides, and watch how everything keeps going up. We'll fill in up here if we have to, but we're just going to keep growing that thing up, and then this whole thing keeps propelling it. So we could be generations deep of backlinks or backlinks or backlinks or backlinks or backlinks or backlinks into your projects, right? And for those of you guys that want to spin and speed up those website flips, this will take care of that quick. And for those of you guys who want to build up your own business and have the empire of sites that's backlinking through the backlinking through the backlinking to you, which is like 85% of how you rank anyway, it'll happen. All right. I'll talk to you after a while. I've said everything I could say for right now. I'm going to go get some water. I'll see you guys later. I'm looking forward to you getting involved. Website-installer.com. And for those of you that are exploring and you want to try it out, chatforme.ai. Okay? AI. Chatforme.ai. Because it is AI. It's all AI. And it's cool. You can watch this video and see what's going on. Or you can just sign up. You'll get free credits when you sign up. So you got 7-day free trial and you get the equivalent of 15 to 20 basic conversations already. Okay, so you can see what it's like. Oh, and one last thing. It does have a referral program here in such a way that if you're referring others and they sign up, they get free credits to try it out, 15 to 20 conversations equivalent, and you get an extra stack of credits that's 15 to 20 conversations equivalent. So for everyone you bring in, you get like a free 15 to 20 conversations that your live chat agent can take care of for you, right? So you can build those credits up for whenever it is that you're ready to start your own website if you don't have one yet. So you might even build your first chatbot for a buddy who has a website, knowing everything you know about scrape the guy's site and put the data in about the guy's site, what they do and don't do, and what the bot should be like. And then that way you could give them the code and say, stick it on your site. Let's give it a crack, And the guy will just put the code on his site and boom, it's live right then and there. And any site, it could be WordPress, Weebly, Joomla, any site. It just happens to be that this thing works on any site. So it's applicable to all website owners who do not have the money for a live chat agent, right? Or they want to shrink down their live chat agent demand, right? So with that in mind, yeah, you can earn by setting one up for somebody else. And when they flip out and say, heck yeah, I want in, just say, hey, give me credit for it. You know, you can always let us know you brought them in and we'll give you credit for it. Okay, there you go. A lot happening and I love it. Okay.